Once in a small village near the hills, there lived an old man named Henry. He was known for his wisdom, and people often came to him for advice. His body was old, but his mind was still sharp, and his heart was full of peace. One day, a young man named James came to visit Henry. James was feeling lost. His business had failed, his friends had left him, and he didn't know how to move forward. Life felt unfair and too hard to handle. "Henry," James said with frustration, "I don't understand why life is so difficult. No matter how hard I try, things keep going wrong. How can I find peace in all this chaos?" Henry listened quietly. After a moment, he pointed to the river that flowed beside his house. "Come with me," he said gently. "Let's walk by the river." As they walked along the river, James noticed how the water flowed. In some places, it was calm and peaceful. In other spots, the water rushed wildly, crashing against the rocks. Henry sat down by the riverbank and motioned for James to sit with him. "Look at the river," Henry began. "Sometimes it is calm and smooth. Other times, it becomes rough and fast. Life is like this river." James looked at Henry, still confused. "But how does that help me? My life feels out of control." Henry smiled softly. "That's the lesson, James. Life, like the river, will have both calm times and difficult times. The mistake people make is trying to fight against the river, trying to control it. But the river keeps moving, and so does life." James looked at the rushing water. "But when life is hard, when everything is going wrong, how can I not get swept away by it?" Henry's smile grew warmer. "When the river is calm, enjoy its peace. But when the water is rough, you have to adapt. Instead of fighting against it, you need to go with the flow. The river will carry you forward, even if it's through tough currents. If you learn to trust it, you'll find your way to calm waters again." James thought for a moment, watching the river. "But what if the hard times never end? What if I never find peace again?" Henry looked at the water, watching it flow steadily. "The river never stays the same. The rough parts don't last forever, just like the calm doesn't last forever. What's important is that the river keeps moving forward. When you stop fighting it, you save your energy and let the river carry you. Eventually, it will lead you to calmer places." James began to understand. He realized that much of his stress came from trying to control everything in his life. He was resisting the changes and challenges instead of learning to go with them. Henry continued, "The tough times in life are like the rough parts of the river. They help shape us, making us stronger and wiser. Don't fear the challenges, they are part of your journey. Just trust that, like the river, life will keep moving forward." James nodded, feeling a sense of peace for the first time in a long while. He realized that life's struggles weren't his enemy. They were part of the natural flow of life. Before they left, Henry offered one final piece of advice. "Remember, James, you cannot stop the river from flowing, just as you cannot control every part of life. But you can choose how you move with it. When the water is calm, enjoy it. When it's rough, trust that it will carry you forward. Life is not about controlling everything, but about learning to go with the flow." James stood up, feeling lighter. He looked at the river one last time. It kept flowing, sometimes calm, sometimes wild, but always moving forward. "Thank you, Henry," James said softly. "I understand now.